So did I click record on the camera?
I think so.
Yeah, I did. Okay. It'll only record for like 30 minutes. But...
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Can you see if the lines are moving?
Talk again. Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heart with Hads, reporting from Tennessee. Wait,
Well, we're kind of in Georgia, but technically Tennessee.
Okay, yeah, reporting live. Lakyn's birthday for NPC Junior Nat.
Heck yeah. Let's go.
Okay, so explain what it is to everybody that's listening.
My birthday?
No! Junior Nat!
Okay, so it's basically my national show that could potentially get me my pro card. But I have to win my class, so we'll leave that all up in the hands of fate and God. So
yeah. This is your second
national show ever. And it's only going to be my 5th show ever.
Which is crazy.
I went to nationals my first year, and I got 9th, so I at least was top 10. But this one's a little bit more special, so I feel pretty good going into this show. So.
Yeah, let's talk about like a little bit of. Sorry, I guess we didn't really do a good introduction.
Nah, not really.
Okay, introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm Lakyn. I grew up in El Dorado, so really close to like where Hadley is from, Arc City, obviously. But
yes.
So I'm a nurse. I don't really work as a nurse right now. I actually live in California right now, which is really far away. But my husband and I are out there. He's a contractor. He is a lineman. My dad's a lineman.
Alex.
Yeah, shout out Alex. My dad's a lineman, my brother's a lineman, and my sister's boyfriends are linemen, so it kind of just like runs in the family, I guess.
She likes some linemen.
Blue collar boys, I guess. I did sports like my whole entire life, so I've always had like that really motivation, like dedication, like really competitive. I'm a very competitive person. I hate losing. It's like I hate it. I don't know. So
we are the same.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
We do have 20 acres back in Kansas, so come next year, this time we'll actually be back in Kansas, so I'm very excited for that. But otherwise, I'm 28 today, so
happy birthday.
I feel younger now than I did at 21, though. Like, I feel like I'm way healthier and everything now, so I feel good. But that's really the gist about me.
Yeah, so we're 6 years apart. You're literally the same age as my sister.
Yeah, you're the same age as my sister. Actually, you're a little bit older than one of them and younger than the other one.
Yeah.
So, but.
No, we basically just, like, met at the gym.
Yeah. It was weird. I remember, like.
Right after your last nationals.
Yeah. Like, we had just moved back to Wichita. And I remember I saw you on Instagram or something somehow. And I was like, holy crap, she has a lot of followers. I see her at the gym. I'm going to say something to her sometime. But I don't think I've really actually said anything to you in person. I messaged you on Instagram first. And then I saw you. And then we were friends, but we weren't, like, as close as we are now. Yeah. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, when I switched coaches and everything, we just, like, became more, like, open to each other. Like, I feel like that's when all the stars, like, just aligned and everything.
For sure.
But, like, these last couple months, for sure, you and I have gotten a lot closer, which sucks because I'm so far away. But, like, that's what we talked about, though, is, like, the distance, I think, is, like, God knew we needed each other, so he's, like, challenging us first at the beginning of our friendship.
Yeah.
So.
I would agree.
Yeah. I don't know. We just get each other.
Yeah, and there's no, like, other friends that I have that, like, get me on the same level because we're interested in the same things.
Yeah.
And we have the same lifestyle.
Yeah. That is true. Like, I feel like fitness, just, like, personality-wise, and even, like, just our personal life. Like, I feel like.
For sure.
Especially, like, becoming closer to God and everything the last, like, 6 months or so. That's something that we've confided in each other.
I was going to say that, and then, like, both of our boys are linemen.
That is true. So we get, like, the storm work, and, like, being alone is just one of those things that's, like, part of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we can relate on that sense for sure, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're here we're
in like Trenton, Georgia. So
it's like on the border.
Yeah,
of like
that was
Alabama,
a whole fiasco.
Georgia
and Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
Tell
like
the story what happened.
So I booked this Airbnb like I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 months ago because my heart was set on junior nationals. Like I was going to qualify for this show, like no matter what it took. Because if I had any chance of a pro card, I for some reason wanted it to be at this show, and I don't know why that was. I just was like, I want this show.
That's just nice because like it just aligned too with
like everything
your timeline.
Just kind of worked out the way that it was supposed to. So I booked the Airbnb, had it booked for like 3 to 4 months, had already paid like the full, like everything. And Friday, literally before we leave, like a few days before we were supposed to leave, I got like a message saying like Airbnb has canceled your stay, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that was a whole like stress factor added into it. Hadley and I immediately like started Googling like hotels and Airbnbs and like VRBOs.
Hotel is like the last resort.
Yeah.
Because you can't cook, you can't do nothing. And if you're in the bodybuilding world, then
that's a no.
That's a no.
And your fridge is like a little mini fridge.
That
doesn't work.
Fit anything.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
So Airbnb was pretty helpful. At least they like messaged me and they were like helping me find a house, and nothing is going to be in budget because I already paid for this like months ago.
Right.
Thankfully they covered just a little bit of it, but the Airbnb ended up being like $500 more expensive than the previous one. So, oh well, it all worked out.
I'm just looking at this house right here.
That blue one?
Like someone lives there.
Yeah, there was a person with a dog out there yesterday.
That is like a tiny home.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. Like if you keep walking, there's a lot of little houses.
But they're probably like so at peace because they're just like out in
It's so quiet out here.
Open and
it's like peaceful.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to live out like this and not in the city.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited to live in at 20 acres because like it's just going to be so relaxing.
So nice.
So relaxing. So yeah. Well, we're in Chattanooga. Well, not technically. I guess we're in Trenton, Georgia.
Yeah.
But we'll be going to Chattanooga. We're going to go to Ruby Falls later, so it's
I'm excited for that. It's going to be warm.
A little cave tour.
Oh, I guess it won't be warm if we're in a cave.
We're like we go like down into a cave, and then we see like a waterfall and stuff.
That's cool.
So Hadley and I had to get matching socks because we
both
like
on YouTube
pickles, so we have like kind of a big dill on our feet.
This one?
They both say kind of a big dill.
They say the same thing.
Yep. But we love pickles, so it just like it just worked out.
Feet is the brand, is the company name.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah, that's a little bit about me and why we are here.
Yeah,
I guess.
So let's talk about the beginning of like what made you want to get into bodybuilding.
Kind of like stemming back from probably like just high school, being competitive. Like I ran track, I played volleyball. I went to college for on a cheerleading scholarship, which is super weird for me.
Did you cheer?
I cheered, yeah. I cheered like 2 years in high school. I didn't like the like rah part of it, but I liked the stunting aspect of it, so that's why.
Did you tumble?
Yeah, I could tumble a little bit. Not anything crazy. Like, I would not call myself like a great tumbler. I could do a back handspring, that was about it. Round off back handspring, but I couldn't like back tuck or anything.
Yeah.
I probably could if I tried, just because I am decently athletic, but I just couldn't get that like fear factor out of my head that I'm gonna fall if I tried it. So I never did.
I get that.
So yeah, I cheered in college, but it paid books and tuition, so that was nice. But I would say by far track was my favorite sport because I felt I could be the most competitive at that, just because it was a team sport but also individual at the same time. So like if I ran bad, like that reflects on me. That's not
a reflection of like the team, whereas cheer. Did you guys do like competition cheer with?
No, we didn't. They used to, but they decided that, I guess like a few years before I went there, that they weren't going to do it anymore, which is fine. I don't know if I would have loved that.
Right.
But yeah, so sports kind of made me like have that competitive like mindset. I think my dad is super competitive. My dad's very athletic.
Yeah, I think a lot of like people's traits and things come from like how they grew up and what they were around.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Dan about that on our 12.5-hour drive here.
Shout out, Dan.
We were talking about how I think like those traits are like competitive traits and like wanting to be the best traits cannot be like they're not intrinsic. I mean, they are, but like they have come like stemmed from some outside influence.
Yeah. And those are like, I think, very valuable traits to have because you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, not
these days.
everyone has them.
Yeah,
because parents like don't give a shit.
They're soft now. Like your kids cry during a sport and they'll be like, "Oh, you don't want to play baseball anymore? Okay, let me pull you out."
Yeah,
you know? I don't know.
Or like, just if their coaches are hard on them, it's like they get pissed off, and it's like, well, that's why your kid sucks and your kid's never gonna be great.
Right. Like you have to. I mean, there's give and take in coaching. Like, yeah, it sucks that your coach is hard on you, but do you want to be good or do you want to be mediocre?
Yeah,
that's sort of my thing. Like, I don't know. So yeah, just like I've always been competitive. My husband and I got married, Alex, like 3 years ago, and I just remember looking back at my wedding pictures and being like, I hate these. I don't like how I look. I hated it a lot. So I started like getting more like active in the gym and everything. I didn't start bodybuilding then because I'm like, I don't know.
Did you
like,
have an interest? Did you like?
I always thought it was really cool. Yeah, so actually, shout out Sam. I followed her just because I went to high school with Sam. So like, when I saw her compete, I'm like, that is so cool. Like, she looks so good. And I just knew that like the dedication that you have to be a competitor is something that like also is very hard. Like, just self-discipline is big.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. So really what I did first is I started 75 hard. And I'm like, if I can do, I was like, if I can do 75 hard and I can hit my goal, I'll hire a coach.
Yeah.
And so I hired a coach after 75 hard because I followed it to a T. But I hired a coach as just a lifestyle coach because I was like, I don't know if competing's for me. I don't know. And I just remember like a few months into lifestyle coaching, I was like, man, this is fun. Like, I think I could, be competitive with this. So I kind of just bit the bullet literally in 2021. I think that was my first season competing. And then I took a full year off after that. And now we're back and we're better than we were. So, and I have a new coach. Shout out Dan again.
Which I influenced that.
Yeah. I think I just needed another person to be like, you just need to do something. And it wasn't anything that my previous coach, like, she was a great person, but we just weren't seeing eye to eye anymore, and that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
And shout out Dan for being the best.
Yeah. Like he's just so understanding and
so knowledgeable too. And you have someone that cares about you and your health and you as an individual, and not just you winning.
Yeah.
And like giving you whatever protocol just to like get a win under their belt.
Right. And he doesn't just give you like, it's not a same plan for everybody. Yeah. Like, it's so individualized, and like to know somebody that well that you can like just make them a plan that's just formatted for them.
Yeah. And he likes to know about like your life. It's not just like nutrition training, like you're not, like he wants to be involved like in your life, because I don't know, I feel like that type of a coach, any type of like health coach or whatever, is going to impact you in more ways than just like getting in shape.
Well, 100%. And then it goes back to like you've mentioned stress. Like, they got to know your stressors, because stress is going to affect whether you lose weight, you gain weight, you like, like it's just, stress is just so bad for us. But yeah.
But you're not a very like stressful person, I feel like.
I would say when I do stress, I hide it very well.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a person, like, on the outside, I look like everything's, like, all, like, perfect. Glued together and perfect. And I don't know why that is. I've always been like that. It's really hard for me to, like, open up about things. Like, I build and build and build and build. And then, like, just one person's like, are you okay? And then I'll just lose it. But
you're just, like, falling.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually okay. But, no, I'd say my stressors are, like, pretty low. Thankfully, Alex is, like, super understanding. And, like, he knows that nursing's just really hard on me. Like, mentally.
Yeah, I don't know how people, like, prep and, like, work, like, night shift and are, like, legit pros.
Yeah.
And they freaking step on stage and look so good. I'm like, how? I know your body hates
I mean, night shift is just not, it's not normal.
No.
Like, your circadian rhythm is so messed up. I don't understand how I didn't function when I did night shift. No. So, you don't function as a normal person.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But it's nice because Alex understands, like, everything that you do, and so he's, like, very supportive.
Yeah, he's, like, the best show husband, probably.
And it helps, too, that he, like, follows along the sport
mm-hmm.
and, like, knows what's going on, because then it just, like, makes you feel more at ease and at peace knowing that he knows what's going on.
Yeah. He's very, like, I think he's very helpful, too. Like, he's just, I don't know, he's always like, what can I do for you? What do you need? What, you know, like, always wants to, like, help me, especially on show day. He's like, what do you need cooked? What do you need, you know, prepped? What do I need to bring for you? Like, he's just really attentive to just everything that it takes.
Super nice. Yeah. And a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice to have, like, somebody like that in your corner that's like, what do you need? What can I do for you to make your life easier?
Yeah.
So.
Not to go, like, off topic, but I just want to say that Lakyn's physique is, like, freaking insane. So,
I don't know.
If you're on YouTube, you need to stand up and give a physique check to YouTube.
Just, like, flex my muscles a little bit.
No, literally, look how vascular she is.
I wouldn't say, I'm very flat right now, though. Like,
but look at these lines.
But we haven't really, like, filled out yet, so they're starting to come through. Tomorrow will be insane vascular.
Tomorrow you're gonna be eating a lot, don't you think?
Probably. My body's kind of being a little bit of a stickler right now because I just feel like I'm holding on to water still from the flight, which is not that huge a deal. You know, if we've got to take some sort of diuretic to get rid of it, cool, I'll do it. But I don't really foresee that being an issue because he hasn't withheld any water from me. So.
Yeah, that's good. Dude, I had to freaking take diuretic.
I have some, but I haven't taken it. So
which I don't even know if I was holding on to water or not.
I don't know. I wouldn't say you were holding on to water.
You made me take some, though.
I just say, like, your first prep, like, it always takes, you know, you have to figure out how your body responds. And, like, that was kind of a reason, like, my first prep, like, it went pretty good. But you just never really know how your body's going to respond to it. And that was kind of, like, Dan was such a blessing because I know he doesn't normally take, like, clients, like, mid-prep.
Right.
But when I reached out to him, I was like, I need you. Like, I need your help. And thankfully, like, he's been able to really figure out how my body responds to, like, stressors and water and just, like, different things. And so we've been able to keep stress pretty low and, like, cardio to literally basically nothing.
Yeah.
And my body's just been cruising right along.
Yeah,
so.
Talk about, like, your food intake and how low, like, how it's not gotten, like, had to have been, like, super low. So throughout your entire prep.
Yeah. I would just say, like, I'm very grateful for, like, how my metabolism does respond to things because I wouldn't say I have it, like, easy because like, my food, like, I'm still hungry. Like, I'm hungry, you know, on my 150 to 180 carbs a day. I'm hungry. But that's just, like, that's me. But, yeah, my food I did a couple dig days, like, I think I was doing, like, Monday and Saturday or Wednesday and Saturday were, like, dig days for probably a week or two or a month or two. But I wouldn't say that, like, that was an 86 carb day or something like that, which is not terrible, but that's the lowest they've ever been. Was that, like,
one of your rest days or a training day?
It was, so Saturdays were training days, Wednesdays were also training days. So it kind of differed, like, each week, though, just kind of based on, like, if we would...
what you looked like and everything.
Yeah. So, thankfully, like, macros have been in my favor. I have not had to have,
and you haven't had to,
like, low food.
What's the highest amount of cardio you had to do?
My cardio only ever got up to, like, 1 hour fasted in the mornings. And I really think I only did that for, like, a month.
Yeah. Maybe.
And then we went back down to, like, 45 minutes, and we went back down to 30. And then he was just having me do, like, 30-minute, like, low intensity. So just, like, you know, Alex and I would go for, like, a nice walk with our dogs just to kind of keep a decent pace. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel very grateful, and I hate talking about it because I know some people have it harder.
I feel like the more muscle density you have, the more, like, less you're going to have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, my resting heart rate, like, still, like, last night it was, like, 40. Like, it just, like, it wants to, it just keeps dropping, and, like, I haven't even really done, I know I'm still in really good cardiovascular shape, but.
Yeah, and you haven't even had to do
I haven't really done a lot of cardio. I did some last week, but not anything crazy. Like, 30 minutes on the elliptical, I think. So, yeah, it's been kind of like a smooth ride into nationals. So I think that's why I feel like so at ease, because I wasn't having to like kill myself.
Yeah, let's talk about your qualifying show. So your show you did 2 weeks ago.
Oh man, okay.
Soft subject.
So I just keep forgetting that I won my class because I'm still salty about like
not winning the overall.
Yeah. So going into that peak week, we were like depleted for 3 days straight. We were basically, Dan was just seeing like how lean he could get me so that when we come to nationals, like he knew like kind of where I needed to sit in order to, look good on the national stage. So I did end up winning my A class. I got first place, which was out of like 7 or 8 girls or something like that.
So talk about A class, like what was the height range for that?
Well, it's kind of weird because
it's different for every show.
Yeah, so it was like up to and including 5'1" or something like that. Or maybe even up to and including 5'2", because I'm 5'1.5". So like they had to have been like including 5'2", but it was really odd because there was another girl that was like 5'2", but she was 5'2.5". So that makes sense. She was in B class. So yeah, so that's up to and including 5'1". So I'm just like the little midget group.
Yeah, but at nationals you'll be
nationals. I'm B class.
Yeah.
So it must be up to and including 5'2".
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So that is kind of how the classes work. But everywhere is different. They were talking about doing like a national class like height so that all the shows have to be the same. So that would be nice so that it's like a universal.
Wait, what do you mean?
They were talking about doing that, like where they do universal, like across the board so that everybody is always in the same class instead of like this show you'll be B or this show you'll be A. Like,
but yeah. That would make sense.
I mean, they still would measure you at every show.
But the thing is like some shows there would be girls that are like super short, and then it's like you're not going against anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you're super tall and you're not going against anyone. Yeah. And then it's like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah, I would say that is probably true, especially the tall classes. I feel like, I don't know. What class do you think is always like the most stacked?
It's probably like that mid, like
C and D.
C and D at like a nationals show.
Sometimes B is pretty stacked too.
Yeah, I would say like 5'3", 5'4".
5'3" to 5'5". I feel like is pretty like average height for a girl. I feel like. So
yeah, it's when you start getting like 5'6", 5'7", like me. It's like
you start to get the taller girls, which I am envious of you guys though, because like you guys have like your proportions are so much better. Like you either have like you're just like the most proportionate. Like you have a nice core, nice long legs, and like I feel like when we're short, we either have long legs or a long core. There's no in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I can see both because like when you are taller, your legs look like way like leaner.
Yeah, that is true. That could be like a negative.
So you have to maybe build up a little more density in your legs. Like for me especially, I know I need to do that. Yeah. Especially like my hamstrings and glutes. I feel like my quads are fine. Like I don't need to touch.
You have nice quads, yeah.
It's just
especially like in bikini when they're not really looking at quad, you know. So, but yeah, and I'm very quad dominant, always been.
Yeah, like
super
you don't
quad
even
dominant.
Quads and you have
and I'm very like liney. Like I get lots of lines in my legs. So
you just get really hard, like not even intentionally either.
Which kind of sucks because then it's like, are the judges going to look for a hard look? Are they looking for softer? Or like you just never know going into the show. Which
I feel like they've been looking at more like softer recently, which like
hopefully at a national show they're not looking for soft because
I think there's a fine line. So it's just going to be what sucks about like the sport that we do is it comes down to everybody that day.
Yep. And like who is in your class that's comparable.
Yeah, you could look amazing, but it's like when you're up against so many people, it's like
that's kind of like I don't know, like going back to the regional show, like when I was in the overall, normally they have you
she should have won, I'm sorry.
Well, normally they have you do like a walk to the back when it's really close, like when it's between first and second place because they're washing for jiggle. You shouldn't have much movement when you walk to the back if you've lost your proper amount of body fat. But just, like, watching the video back, like, I get so triggered because I'm like, nothing moved when I walked to the back. Like, why did I lose?
She was like, you still are, like, peeled to the bone.
I'm a little bit a little bit flat right now, definitely. And even Dan will say that, so. Yeah. But we're cruising. We're cruising right along. I always just say.
Have tomorrow. Like, right. It's only Thursday.
Yeah. And you know what? I probably will look even better when we put the tan on tonight. There's something in your head. You just look a little bit leaner with the tan. But I don't know. It was.
Like, it doesn't matter how you look today or tomorrow. It's about Saturday.
It's about my Saturday performance and appearance.
You still have 2 more nights of sleep.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is like going into the day before travel is like I don't sleep very good because I'm like in my head. I always feel like I have to run through the list of everything I need to pack. And I can't sleep because I'm like, I can't forget this. I can't forget this. I can't forget this. But then I have to add it to my list on my notes on my phone so that I don't forget it. And then it's just like a never ending cycle.
Like a downward spiral. Yeah. And then when you travel, like you came from California, so you're going forward 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Which has been kind of rough because I need to go to bed early, like tonight and tomorrow so that I can kind of get on the schedule because my makeup is at 5:20 in the morning. And with us being at this Airbnb, it's 30 minutes away.
Which 5:20 here would be like freaking 2:20 back at home.
Yeah.
So you're like trying to adjust. So it's nice that you did come early so you can get like.
Yeah, and my body definitely needed like the adaptation to like different climate too because it's muggy here.
Muggy AF, like humid in California. Isn't it dry?
Oh yeah, and it's honestly the weather in California is like A+.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, especially where we're at now, like in the Bay. It doesn't get like super hot, like. They don't see hundreds, really. They That's just, nice. Like, it gets up to, like, maybe 95, 96. So,
yeah. Nice.
But it's been fun. I'm ready to come home. Every time we come home and, like, we're around our people, we're just, like, counting down the days that we get to, like, actually come home and be with everybody.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So, yeah.
Dude, I'm, like, so brain fogged because of the amount of sleep I've
got
last night.
Yeah, since you got here so late.
It was a really good drive, though. It went by super quick, and we went through, like, 6 different states.
Yeah. 7 if you count Kansas.
It was fun. Like, I didn't think it was honestly that bad of a drive. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. But I've had, like, really bad allergies or something. Past like 4 days.
Well, it probably doesn't help that we're out in like basically the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
also.
BFE.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just ready for the weekend. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, are you ready to like? Obviously, you're excited for the show, but are you ready to like be done with prepping? Just because it's been such a long prep.
Yes and no. I think like. In prep, it's really hard for me to, like, prioritize relationships. That's been really hard. Like, I think that's really hard for me because in prep, I get really, like, just quiet and, like, I kind of, like, close myself off. Like, I just kind of, like...
You don't have energy for...
You just have to be really, like, picky and choosy with what you expend your energy on.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I
feel like you do a good job, though.
I try. I feel bad mostly for Alex because he's just always there. He's like my punching bag. So, like, I have really had to, like, tell myself, like, slow to anger, slow to anger, slow to anger. Like, he doesn't know what it's like to go through prep. He knows that the little, like, outside things, but he doesn't know, like, why or how I'm so tired or, like, I'm eating food. So he's like, why are you still hungry? You know, like, he just doesn't understand little things like that. So I've really had to, like, try to prioritize that. And I think being in prep, we used to have, like, our, you know, date nights, like, once a week we would go on a date night or whatever, you know, even if that was just, like, a nice restaurant or something. Like, not that food is everything, but it is, like, on a date, like, you do want to try, like, being, especially in California, we haven't got to try a lot of the different foods, and we're really close to Napa, so, like, the wineries out there, and I'm not a huge drinker, but just, like, being in, like, wine country, I want to try
Just to experience that, you have to, I feel like, if you live there, if you're visiting there. That's something you have to really do.
Yes and no. I like being shredded. It's really cool, but definitely not sustainable for...
No.
And I've been in prep since December 13th of 23. So, like...
I know the exact date.
Yeah, I know the exact date.
January, February, March, April, May, June. So 6 months. Yeah. About half a year, which is what it takes. I mean, that was the same thing for me. I was July to December.
Yep. So it is, you know, yes and no. I mean, I like it. It's fun. It's hard.
it's hard on your body, so we need to give some advice to people like that maybe thinking about.
It is really hard on your body.
Like, look at me, I've still not recovered.
It's just like, I feel like your body goes through so much stress and just like, you know, you don't have the proper hormones through prep because your body fat is like basically nothing. So your body's like telling it you don't need to make those hormones.
Towards the end, especially.
Yeah, like it's just
the first couple months you're fine.
Yeah,
it's like you're still at a good body fat percentage, but then it's like the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, you really don't like want to do anything but like lay on the couch, but like you know that you have to be productive. It's just one of those things, like you have to have a good coach too that can like not only put you through a prep but bring you out of a prep, because like almost I would say reversing is probably harder than prep because your hunger signals are just all over the place. Like your body thinks it's hungry but it's really not. It's just like, and
you like don't know when you're full because you haven't had that
you don't have that satiation or satiated feeling or whatever. Like satiate words are hard. But it's like Hadley and I were talking earlier, like in prep, like we don't eat till we're full. Like we don't feel that full cue. Like we just eat because like food is food, honestly, in prep. Like it's just your energy to keep you going. But definitely you just have to be like, I don't know, take it slow and one day at a time, and like be mindful that your body is doing something so hard, and it's not like natural for your body to like be this low body fat. Like, yeah, it looks cool and yeah, we feel like we're really shredded, but like underneath all of that, like your body is undergoing so much.
At all. So don't recommend to just a person that's trying to like look fit. Like there's a difference between getting lean and getting stage lean, and they are just completely two different things.
And I would say too, like,
I don't know, like to build.
Yes, and building is the most important. Like no matter how bad I wanted to get on that stage last year, I knew that like my outcome was literally going to probably be the same as it was the year before. Right. Because I mean, I wouldn't have given myself enough time to build. I would have given myself like 6 months to build, which is not enough. Like, yeah, you might be able to put on some muscle tissue, but I was in off season for like 13 months total, I think, by the time I went into prep, which thankfully it was nice. Like I did put on quite a bit of muscle tissue.
And it just gives your like psychological a break because it's so mentally challenging. It is. And when you come out of prep, it's hard to like,
it's hard to watch like yourself just kind of.
Yeah. And it's hard to find that outlet of something that like you wake up and it's like you have this task you have to do and like something to work towards. And so it's kind of hard coming out. And I feel like I'm just now, like, 5-6 months later, finally feeling like, okay, like I don't have to stress about, like, looking shredded or, like, all of this stuff.
The scale, too. Like, I think, my piece of advice, I think, for everybody is, like, when I was in off-season, I didn't weigh myself except for on check-in days. Because, truthfully,
I don't either.
It doesn't really matter. The judge doesn't know what you weigh. They're not going to look at your scale. Like, it'd be like, oh, you only weigh that. Well, that's not good, you know?
Right.
Like, basically, it's just another, like, piece of, like, data that, you know, like, okay, well, at this weight, you look shredded or full or not, you know, not, like, lean enough. So, like, I think that is something that even I am guilty of, like, looking at the scale and being like, well, crap, I gained 2 pounds. Or, like, that was really hard for me coming out of my first prep. So you just have to learn, like, yes, it looks really cool, but it's not, like, how you want to live your whole life.
No.
You know?
And no one's, like, gonna bodybuild forever.
No.
Like, we have these goals, you know?
Right. Of course, you know, you enter bodybuilding and you're like, I want to be a pro. Like, that's so cool. I want to be a pro. And, like, I would say my first season, I was all about, like, I want the feedback. I want to know what it takes to be a competitive bodybuilder, not just to be able to, like, say, oh, yeah, I did a bikini competition one time, you know?
Yeah, and I got dead last.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be able to say that. Like, I want to be able to say, like, I stepped on stage and I kicked ass, you know?
Like, literally dominated everyone.
Like, I want the statistics to show that I was actually good at what I was training so hard for, you know?
Sure.
So, I don't know.
And that takes, like, a whole different mindset than the average person. You know, if you want to compete just to say you competed, I'm sorry.
Like, you're not in the right sport.
That's just bullshit to me. I'm sorry.
Like, that's even telling me that you're never, sport. And you're never going to give 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. I would, And I mean, even prep is like, people are like, how do you have the motivation? I don't. I absolutely don't. But motivation, I have the like dedication. Like, you have to have the dedication. Word. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody has motivation to get up every day and go to the gym. If you do, you're lying.
I know. Or like the motivation to like stay disciplined enough to eat the same shit day in and day out. Even on off season, like, you don't, if you're in the sport, you don't have the capabilities to just be fucking eating like shit. No. And if you do, you're a genetic anomaly. Like,
yeah, literally. Like,
some pros.
What I've eaten, like, the same meals. I mean, you and I eat pretty similar, and like, I've eaten the same meals for 4 months, but I like them.
Right.
I like
because it makes you feel good, and it's not. Yeah.
I don't feel sick. I don't feel. Yeah, my gut is happy. Like, yeah. I don't know. I just look forward to them, especially my beef and rice.
Same. That's my favorite. And olive oil. I know you don't like olive oil.
I do like it though, a little bit. Like, I put it in my chicken and rice.
Yeah.
So.
It's good.
But I've been getting peanut butter, and let me just tell you.
That's nice.
I love peanut butter.
Peanut butter in your oats.
I had it on top of my yogurt and raspberries last night.
So good.
With a little bit of pink salt.
Yeah. Super good. Add cinnamon. Do you get to add cinnamon?
No.
I don't think he cares.
Well, I don't, like, love cinnamon, but...
Really? I think it just gives it, like, a sweet taste.
See, but I eat vanilla yogurt. I get vanilla. I don't have to eat sour cream like you do.
I know. Mine's ick.
So.
Honestly.
But, yeah.
Yeah, just anyone that's...
Like, I say, like...
pursue it. Like, it's called bodybuilding. So you need to spend more time...
Building.
And you can't expect to, like, stay lean all the time and expect to have muscle growth. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. And people will ask me, like, since I have competed, and you probably got the questions too, like, so what are you doing right now? Like, are you bulking? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, just leave me alone, honestly.
Yeah.
Why? Like, quit asking me for one.
And I hate when people say bulking. Like, I'm not even, like, it's called growing season or, like, building season.
You don't bulk because you don't eat, like, shit, and you don't, I don't know.
Like, people are like, oh, I'm dirty bulky. No, like, that is not a thing. You don't dirty bulk because, one, you're putting on unwanted body fat. You're not...
Which is just like, going to be harder to get rid of whenever you...
Your family size of Oreos ain't going to help you grow that shelf of a glute shelf. Let me tell you that. So...
Like,
I mean, no matter how good a family-sized pack of Oreos sounds...
With peanut butter? Do you dip them in peanut butter?
No, I've never done that, but that sounds literally amazing.
So
I love Oreo milkshakes. Like, that sounds so good right now.
I like fried Oreos.
I've never had fried Oreos. I've had a fried Twinkie at the Kansas State Fair.
I've had a fried... I don't know if it was Twinkie or, like, Butterfinger or something.
Oh, Butterfinger. Oh, my gosh. Do you like churros?
Yeah.
I've had a really good churro that has, like, cream cheese in the middle. You know, though.
I had those at Disney World.
What have I been telling you this whole prep that I want?
Bagel?
Yeah, a blueberry bagel. That still sounds so good. I know.
I was going to buy you them, but they already had them in there.
Yeah,
so
we do. We keep those Killer Dave's bagels on hand.
Yeah, those are so fire.
They're so soft and, like, they actually taste good.
I know. What were we just talking about?
Well, we went on a food tangent.
I know. Plus, I'm like, I'm on like a little gut health thing, so my food hasn't been like as lenient.
Oh yeah,
basically what I was saying is, all bodybuilders that are like genuinely want to be good and are good, like pro level, they stick to their shit like all year round.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, there's like a little bit more freedom where you can have like more free meals. Yeah. And they're not going to affect your progress, but like 99% of the time you're on your shit and you eat the same thing in prep, just more quantity.
Right, exactly. And I think people are like, I don't understand how you do that. I don't understand how you eat the same thing. Like, you have to be okay with that. Like, you can change your protein sources. You can change your carb sources. But, like, don't go and, you know, switch them completely up to where your body's like, whoa, I haven't had this in a while, and it freaks out on you.
Yeah.
You know, like, just introduce little things at a time.
I think that's kind of what disrupted my gut after prep is I was like, well, and Dan was trying to, like, Dan gave me so much food because my body was just not
burning through it,
at all. And so when it was, like, finally sticking, but I was having, like, bagel, peanut butter, like,
just all these random things to get your carbs.
I wasn't, like, eating before, and so I think that maybe had a little bit to do with it, and stress overall. Just, overall stress. Levels.
I think for you, definitely, like, removing stressors is kind of like me, because, like, removing stressors, like, just makes my body respond really, like, a lot better.
Yeah,
so
definitely same, which should be everyone. Like,
stress is bad.
It's a killer. Like, literally,
It's like a silent killer, basically, because like you can't relax when you're stressed, so you don't sleep good. Like, it just affects so much stuff.
And then when you don't sleep good, you can't perform well, and your body's hungrier, and you hold on, and you're more insulin resistant, and
your sleep is basically like the food pyramid, but at the very top.
No, for sure. And people think that like supplements and like all of these things are gonna contribute to their growth, and it's like, no, like you need to train hard and you need to recover well. And so my big thing is like, I can train hard, but I can't recover hard. And that's what I need to work on.
That's hard for me too. Like, rest days were really like a struggle for me. For a while, I just like have a hard time just resting. I'm not I am not a person that can sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, same.
I never have been that way. I can like lay and watch my show, but like I'm also doing like 50 other things at a time, I feel like. Like I will like lay there and watch my show for 10 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, well, the washer just went off. I need to go switch to laundry. And then I like see a dish in the sink and I got to put it in the like I'm just a very scatterbrained,
like trying to clean the bathroom.
Yeah, and then I'm like, wait, what happened in my show? So like, did I even watch my show? No.
So I feel the same way, and it's so hard. Which you need to read this book that I'm reading.
I think you told me.
Yeah, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
Yes.
So if you guys are listening, get that book because it's so good. If you're spiritual, if you're not, then
you should be.
You should be, and maybe it'll help you become it. I'm not gonna push my beliefs on you, but I really like it. I think it's really good, and I'm almost done with it. I think I am finished. There's like an epilogue at the end, but I'm trying to finish reading that.
Sometimes that has like some useful information in it. Yeah.
So that's my book recommendation.
Well,
of the pod.
I would say, I mean, I read, but like I don't have any recommendations right now. I haven't read any like.
Well, you like to read like fantasy books.
I read a lot of like different things, like murder book. Like,
well, I like that stuff too. I just haven't had time.
I haven't read any motivational books though, so like I can't give you like a motivational.
That's okay.
I don't know. I was like trying to read this. And I know, don't come at me, but the Courts of Thorns and Roses books, like, they're, like, the mystical creature ones. Yeah, I got through the first two of them, and they were really good. But then the third one, I just, like, couldn't finish it. So, like, I never stop reading books in the middle, but I just, like, was not intrigued, so I stopped it. I know that's, like, don't come for me because I hate that, but I couldn't do it.
No, it's fine. There's some books that I get like that with. And I'll be honest, like, I'll be reading a book, and it just gets so boring, and I just start a new one.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'll go back to the other one. But
I found a book that I must have been reading, like, when we were moving into our apartment. It was, like, halfway through, but I don't ever remember even having this book. So I must have read it, like, years ago or something. Yeah.
That's when it's like, okay, I have to start all the way over because
I don't even remember what it was about. Yeah. No idea.
And I do that with books in general. Like, I have no idea what I just read. Someone will ask me questions about it, and I'm like, well, I'm such a, like, skimmer reader. Like, I read so fast.
Yeah, I'm kind of that same way.
I don't digest it all, and so when someone's, like, saying the character's name, or, like, I know the gist of the story, but, like, I couldn't tell you the details like that.
Half the time, I can't even tell you the title of my book.
Oh, same. So I was like, what book are you reading? And I'm like,
I have to, like, get on my Kindle app and, like, see what book it is. I just, like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of that same way, and I think that's, like, how I was in school, too. Same. I didn't retain a lot of school stuff. I don't know. I never read. I had to study so hard. I was such a reader
in school. Like, I would come home and I would just read.
Like the textbooks?
No.
Oh, like actual books. Oh, okay.
Like my mom was like, find me in my room, like when I was little, just like reading.
I never. It was, like, dinner time. So I like hated reading until just like
recently.
Probably a year ago, 2 years ago, because I got my Kindle about 2 years ago, and I like really into reading because I can like rent my books.
It's just so relaxed, like peaceful too, especially if you're like outside.
Like out here.
I'm about to fall asleep just sitting out here. I'm not even gonna lie.
They need a hammock, like between those two trees or something.
Or like right here. Yeah, that would be so
Our apartment has hammocks that are like like under like these trees. I'm like, I'm gonna be reading.
I want a hammock so bad.
You need to come visit me. We can just go read in the hammocks.
I know.
And by the pool, dude. The pool is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Which I know you have a pool, so that doesn't really entice you, but
it does. Though I still love being married.
Well, and you could come visit me, and
I know. Okay, well, do you have any? We can wrap it up because I'm like literally about to fall asleep. And any last words?
I would just say, like, if you got a goal, just keep chasing it. That's what we're going to do.
That's a good one. No matter
how hard or how many obstacles you come across, like,
just keep going.
Yeah. Like, I know I've said this, like, prep is, like, been, like, kind of smooth sailing, but it's not been easy. I will say that. It's not easy. Like, no matter how, like, grateful I am for how high my food stayed and how low my cardio was, but, like, it has not been easy. Like, mentally, it's always hard.
And we're not glamorizing prep at all, because prep is not, like...
And it's not something anybody can do.
And all you, like, people that really, like, want to do it so bad for the wrong reasons, all they see is the stage and like,
how lean and, like, how good we look. Like,
but you don't understand, like, the emotional battles.
Yeah. I mean, there's been multiple times that, like, I'd text Hadley, I'd be like, I'm having a meltdown right now. Or, like, I would literally just, some days just sit in my kitchen and cry. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, you just always have to remember your why. Like, why did you start something?
Start with why, the book.
Yes. So, well, yes. Shout out why.
That book too. I'm almost done with it, and then you can borrow it.
Okay, perfect. But, no, that's just, like, really, like, I don't know.
Yeah, so stay tuned, because this is coming out the day before.
Day before Natty's.
And
hopefully we can, like, Hads will probably update you, but hopefully we have good news when we update. I mean, it would be pretty cool to celebrate in Chattanooga more than just my birthday on Saturday night.
I know, it'd be so nice. It'd be so fun too. I should have freaking brought my cowgirl boots. Why didn't I think of that? We're in
Dude, you brought your whole other, like, your whole closet.
I know.
I should have brought your cowgirl
brought
boots.
my freaking big old suitcase.
Yeah, and you brought me some outfits, so, like, prep clothes. Prep life. Nothing fits you.
No, and then
literally
when you get out of prep, you're like, chunky. Not really, but...
You're, like, bringing out your whole other wardrobe.
You have two different
like,
clothes.
winter and summer clothes, but prep and off-season clothes.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
No, that's it.
That's all we got for you guys. I'm really tired, and we're about to go to a cave, so...
Yeah, we're about to go walk through a cave and see a waterfall.
When will we have to leave for that? 6? Or are we going to go earlier?
We can leave at, like, 5:30 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, in, like, an hour.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like to explore, especially because I've never been to
Chattanooga.
Dude, I don't know if my voice has, like, not been very loud this entire time. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fine. It's fine.
We'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out
when you post
I'll figure it out. Anyways, okay.
All right.
Say bye to the pod.
Bye.
Okay, don't forget to subscribe, like, whatever you gotta do. Leave a review.
And tune into the live stream, because there is a live stream for Nationals.
Yes, I don't know how much it is.
It's $14.99 for Saturday, or it's $19.99 for the whole weekend.
That's a steal, but you don't need the whole weekend, because she only does Saturday.
Yeah, unless you're, like, intrigued in watching the men, because sometimes the men are kind of fun to watch, because they're competitive.
They're very competitive, and they get to have, like, pose downs.
Yeah, pose downs, like,
cooler.
I really wish I could do a pose down, like, front double bicep
or
something.
No, actually.
So, that's it.
Tune in.
All right, toodles.
Kisses.
Oh, man.